So what do we do with that absolute truth? I remember years ago in the late 80s that me and my sister were coming home from a party late and traveling over the Mayanas Bridge in Connecticut there on the way home, and then we made it home safely, and the next day we watched the news, and the bridge had collapsed. A big section of it had just totally collapsed, and cars were going over it. We had made it over safely the hour before. And the stories were that several cars went off the bridge. I think a truck went off the bridge, and people suffered, and some people died. And there were also people on the bridge who were able to stop in time and to try and stop those people coming towards the bridge that was out. And that was the message. That was the absolute truth message, that the bridge was out and they were trying to get people to stop. And unfortunately, not everybody heard the message, heard the truth that the bridge was out. And if you look at that story, people suffered, people died, even people who were trying to do that which was good suffered in the fact that they couldn't stop everyone from going over the bridge. And that's pretty much like life is. We are born, we suffer, we die. The fact is, the truth is, the bridge is out ahead for everyone. And what do we do with that truth? What do we do with that idea of suffering? Why do we suffer? It could be part of our human design, in that we are capable of many good things, and we're capable of many bad things, and that everyone suffers, and yet some of us will take the road of not wanting to suffer, and we seek pleasure. And in pleasure we find ways of maybe taking a drink and kind of forgetting about our troubles for a while. But yet maybe that could lead us to not being satisfied anymore. Could lead us into a sort of addiction, and once again we are back in the realm of suffering. Ask the question, what is the meaning of our suffering? Even in seeking some sort of happiness, there isn't a true, absolute happiness. Ask yourself that question. What is happiness? Happiness for you may be something entirely different for somebody else. So there's your relative understanding or your relative truth of happiness, but there is an absolute form of happiness. Sometimes we need to ask ourselves those questions as to those invisible words, as to their meaning. A lot of times we'll find and discover that they're not all the same, which means they are relative and not absolute. But we believe or think and live our lives as if we live in an absolute world that we've created of our own. But that's really relative truth. We need to ask the question, what is the absolute truth? Who is the source of that truth? Why are we here? What is the meaning of our life, of other people's lives? What is the meaning of suffering? That is, in ultimately dying. Why do we do what we do?